yeah, I just wanted to keep sort of riding the wave of Jesus and the psychedelic. So I figured I would talk today about um, some of the like Jesus visions I've had during ayahuasca or during mushrooms. And the first one, well, sorry, actually only happened 3 times. But the first time it happened, I was in Oaxaca in Mexico on this top of a mountain with this old lady named Natalia in the same community that Sabina came from, Huautla de Jimenez. It's a little community of people that take mushrooms for spiritual sacrament and for physical healing. So I was interested in this. So I went there to meet some of these people, and I met Natalia. Natalia gave me this mushroom ceremony at night. This little old woman. You can see the video on my YouTube channel. And during the ceremony, she had these big pictures of Mother Mary, Jesus, and the Pope sort of lit by the candles, and they were just staring at me while I was tripping. And it obviously inspired all kinds of biblical visions and imagery to pop up in my trip. And I had one really interesting poetic sort of realization that Mother Maria, is actually represents the spirit of the earth, the mother of where we come from, and seemingly we sort of just sprout up here on this planet. All life, I'm looking out here. There's tons of life outside: trees, grass, bugs, birds, and all of this stuff seemingly just seems to pop up like a virgin birth, and the earth is just a womb for life to emerge out of. You could argue the sun is the father, but yeah. So this was like a really poetic thing that happened to me, and it kind of blew my mind during the trip. I was like, wow. So Mother Mary represents the the birth of all life, seemingly coming from nothing, and Jesus was shown to me as being the potential of the human soul, or the pureness of the human soul. Who we really are, deep in our core, is this compassion, this love, this understanding, even in the face of hate and anger and brutality. Just complete pureness. And the mushroom was explaining to me like this is what Jesus is, and it was also trying to tell me that Jesus was a historical figure, and he was realized. He realized the human soul, and he was able to live through the soul rather than his ego. Like Neem Karoli Baba once said, when Ramdas gave Neem Karoli Baba acid, LSD, Baba sat there, and the story goes that it looked like he went to say something, and then instead a tear fell down his face. And he said that things like LSD, psychedelics, can take you and bring you into a room with Christ where you can hang out with Jesus, but you have to leave. And he said it's better to become Jesus than it is to just hang out in a room with him. And I actually I got that story mixed up. It just kind of hit me while I was saying it. But they asked Neem Karoli Baba how to meditate, and he said, "Meditate like Christ." And they're like, "Meditate like Christ." And these guys are like a bunch of Americans in India, so they're like trying to escape the spiritual traditions of America, and they go to India, and this guy's basically forcing them to examine their own traditions. Or the dominant traditions of the culture that they're from, which in this case is Christianity. And he said, meditate like Christ. So they're like, meditate like Christ? How do you meditate like Christ? And this is when the tear shed, and he said, he lost himself in love. So it's a good story. So he lost himself in love. And yeah, the mushroom was like showing this to me. He lost himself in love. He lost himself in love. And it was really beautiful. And another time I had a crazy Jesus vision on DMT was when I was here drinking ayahuasca in Peru. And for some reason, Jesus popped up in my trip. And I was like, asking ayahuasca, like, what's up with Jesus? What is up with Jesus? Give me the rundown on Jesus. And here in Peru, they have what's called an icaro. The shamans here sing these icaros, and they're these divine songs that they learn from the plants. You can kind of associate it maybe with like a mantra. It's sort of like a holy vibration that sort of guides you through your experience. It guides you through when you were tripping. It helps you heal, and it really does. It's an interesting thing. Like it's a weird sort of indigenous science that these people have figured out during the sensitive states of the trance induced by the plant. And so yeah, I was asking ayahuasca, what's up with Jesus? And she explained to me that Jesus is an icaro. He's a song that's being sung through generation to generation, and it's sort of like a little hitchhiker that's just jumping its way from heart to heart, healing everyone that comes in contact with it, if they're open to it. It's really beautiful. I was able to see Jesus as like the sort of traditional imagery of Jesus, where he was like really sad looking. He had a crown of thorns on his head, and but he was happy. He was sad, but he was not happy. But he was like, he was weeping for our pain. Like he was taking on all of our pain, and he was weeping sort of in pain, but also in love. Like he was doing it out of love. And this is what this was the image that ayahuasca was beaming into my awareness, and basically saying like he is a divine mantra that's being passed down. And for those of it that are ready to hear this song, it opens up your heart a little bit. It cracks open these tight brick walls that we build around ourselves. And I love Jesus. I'm not a Christian by any means, but like I've been on so many Christian pilgrimages throughout my life. I've been to Bethlehem and Jerusalem, and I've been to the places where Jesus was supposed to have been killed and where he was supposed to have been resurrected. And I've been to the tomb of Moses. I've been to the tomb of Abraham. And so I've done like a lot of these Christian pilgrimages. For some reason, they just happened. I don't really even know how. I just kind of follow my feet and they take me around. And it's a real beautiful religion if you can get into the sort of esoteric, mystical side of it. Or at least this is my opinion, like the Gnostics or something like that. I really appreciate their perspective of Christianity. I feel like the church has really utilized their control of the dogma, and they use that as a way to, gain power over people and make money, and they prey on people's sort of faith and their wellness and their compassion, and they extract it. It's very demonic, actually, in a way, the church these days. And but anyways, yeah, this is some of the visions I've had from psychedelics. This is what the psychedelic told me about Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to Jesus. What came after him is not his fault. So we just got to go to the source and not get so lost in the retranslations of his words or whatever, and just try to take the essence of what it means to be in love. What does love mean? Is love an exchange of emotion between two people? I love you because you did this for me, and you love me because I give you this? Or is love simply just forgiveness and understanding, unconditional? Unconditional means without condition. It doesn't matter if I get something from you or if I give something to you or this or that. It simply is what it is. Love seems to be what the human soul is. We layer ourselves with all these things that help our identities and help us, gather our desires and manifest our desires. So we take on all these different things that maybe appear as being self-love, but Even the Hindus have realized this, that bhakti, they call it bhakti, which means something like devotion or service. It's like our highest position is being in service, unconditionally in service to the world. I mean, that is really our true state here on this world. You know, we are in service to the environment. The environment isn't in service to us, and that's kind of the illusion we live in, is that this is all for us. But it's not. We are actually in service to this world. Otherwise, it will be taken from us, which we are kind of seeing in the form of climate change, in the form of this pandemic, and you know, the universe has a way of balancing itself out when it gets a little out of alignment. So, yeah, you know, and I feel like we all have a natural inclination to help things. You know, when we see an animal, we want to help it, we want to hug it, we want to love it. And it seems like culture and dogma really give us the narration of an ego that benefits the power structure of the culture, and we lose connection with that. We lose connection with our nature and with actual nature. Does that make sense? If we were able to live without culture and in harmony, we would be like Jesus, you know? That's you know, it's in a place of accepting. Anyways, this is what the mushrooms and ayahuasca have shared with me about Jesus, and I'm happy to deliver their message to the world. So, yeah, now it's time for breakfast. I'm gonna go eat. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys like these few Jesus videos I've been uploading. And if you want to go see me at the Tomb of Jesus, and like my little exploration around Israel and stuff like that, or Jordan, or even India, you know, I went on some cool Jesus excursions in India. That's all on my YouTube channel. So I have a whole playlist full of Israel stuff, and yeah, go check it out if you're interested. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys around.